So, the unfortunate news is out. Assassin's Creed Shadows has been delayed until February 14th, 2025. Obviously, for all of us that were looking forward to playing in November, this sucks. But today I want to talk about why Assassin's Creed Shadows being delayed is actually not technically a bad thing. I'll also cover why Ubisoft are indeed delaying Assassin's Creed Shadows, and we'll have a well-rounded discussion of the potential outcome of the game, again why it's being delayed, and why in the long run this isn't actually going to be a negative thing. So without further ado, if you are new to this channel, The Exile, and want to stay up to date with everything Assassin's Creed Shadows, Assassin's Creed, all of the Assassin's Creed and more, then you're in the right place. Consider pressing the subscribe button and let's get on with it. You can also become a member of this channel for 99 cents per month, which offers you access to custom Assassin's Creed emojis in the comments, such as this, and this. Anyway, dear players, Assassin's Creed Shadows is a dream project for us, finally bringing the series to feudal Japan with many features developed with our community in mind, such as parkour or the renewed stealth brought by new technology, all set in a beautiful and immersive world. This is an ambitious addition to the franchise, a rich experience that could be lived through the eyes of two unique protagonists, but we realized we need more time to polish and refine the experience, pushing further some of our key features. As such, we've made the decision to postpone the release date to February 14th, 2025. This game will release on a broad range of platforms, including Steam at launch. Additionally, pre-orders will be refunded and all future pre-orders will be granted the first expansion for free. We understand this decision will come as disappointing news, especially to those who have been waiting patiently for an Assassin's Creed game inspired by feudal Japan. But we sincerely believe this is in the best interest of the game and ultimately your experience as a player. Rest assured, we are looking forward to the moment you will embark on a memorable adventure with Naoe and Yasuke. Until then, we thank you for your ongoing support. Mark, Alexis, Gode, or Coat. So delays in entertainment media are always a sad thing, you know, you look forward to something, you're ready to play it, you've maybe pre-ordered it, and then it's a slap in the face, we're delaying it, and you're not going to get it for a few more months. Of course, it can feel like a piss take. But let's just for a moment think about what would happen if the game did indeed come out on November 11th. If it is indeed as Ubisoft say and the game isn't ready, not as further down the line as they thought it would be, then we're going to probably face a ton of bugs. Think about Unity's release. Do you remember that cluster pluck of a release? It was insane. It got trashed for being the shittiest Assassin's Creed game ever made. Look at some of the glitches on screen right now. Even take a look at AC Valhalla's release. It was, again, not as much bugs as Unity, but it was full of bugs, especially with stealth, and it definitely did tarnish the experience. And God forbid we ever get a release with Assassin's Creed like we did with the initial release of Cyberpunk 2077. That was insane, and it was just not something you ever want to experience as a gamer again, especially if you've pre-ordered it. So yeah, I think delaying sucks, but I think sometimes it is needed. And you know, a lot of games do end up getting delayed for like a year, or delayed and delayed and delayed and delayed, and it doesn't come out until way further down the line. So the fact that it's only November, December, January, February, 3 months, that's not too bad. Honestly, I think the worst thing about this is it's coming out on Valentine's Day, and I've already got plans that day, so I don't know what I'm gonna do. But yeah, personally with me, I think if you have to delay a game, you do what you gotta do. Give us as a player a good, enriching experience that isn't gonna be full of bugs, isn't gonna be full of a negative experience that will come away feeling just saddened and pissed off and disappointed. You know, I don't want that again. We had it with Unity, we've had it with a lot of games in the gaming industry, and we don't need it with another game, especially one such as Assassin's Creed Shadows. It's not needed. Now, the fact that Ubisoft are actually offering refunds to pre-orders really surprised me. I think this is actually a good thing. Obviously, I'm not going to hide away from the fact that if Ubisoft were not confident on the release of the game, then they shouldn't have offered pre-orders so soon. Ubisoft always offer pre-orders as soon as they announce a game, and in my opinion, it's always way too soon, and it's just, again, feels very money hungry. And to me now, with them offering refunds, yes, it's a gesture of goodwill and it's professional and it's appreciated, But again, you shouldn't hide away and forget the fact that, look, they shouldn't have offered pre-orders this early on in the first place. Now, something I find very interesting is it says pre-orders will be refunded and all future pre-orders will be granted the first expansion for free. That's interesting to me because it says they're gonna give all refunds back, but they're still allowing pre-orders. So it's like, what doesn't really make sense to me? I wonder if this is just worded kind of badly, and what it means is, look, you're gonna have the option to have a refund on your pre-order if you choose to do so, but if you want to keep your pre-order, then you can also do that. I think maybe you can let me know in the comments. I haven't pre-ordered Shadows as of yet, so I'm not gonna know. If you do know, let me know in the comments sort of what that situation is. Do you have the option, or is your money just back in your account? Let me know. They will be granting the first expansion for free. If that's like a side quest, which is going to be like $3.99 or something, then it's like, you know, I guess that's fine. But, you know, if they're actually talking about the first proper DLC expansion, which it's worded in the way that it would be that, I think. To me, I read that as like a new map, a new island, or just a new area with a whole quest line, new characters, new armor, new weapons. That's what I see as first expansion. So the fact that they're going to be giving that away for free, again, it's a gesture of goodwill, and there's a lot of work that gets put into expansions, even if it's from Ubisoft, who release their DLCs, their games in sheer volume. You know, even still, work is being put into making that by developers. Again, giving that away for free, as I said, it's a gesture of goodwill. It looks professional. We'll see what that expansion is. It could just be a new armor set, but from what I'm reading, expansion to me means, yeah, big DLC. So yeah, look, this is what I imagine the delay has come from. When it comes to decision making in any company, obviously I don't work for Ubisoft, I don't work for a gaming company, so I can't tell 100%, but it's not just one person, one division of people, it's usually like layers of people. So you've got the developers who make the game, and you'll have, you know, game director who sort of calls the shots in that sort of department, but then you'll have your corporate people, your corporate entities within the company that, you know, maybe don't play games, they're part of the business side. When's this getting released? What's the trajectory of this? How much money have we made this year? You know, there's that side of people who are usually higher up. And then you've got to also factor in like investors, people that invest millions, multi-millions into the company. They're going to have somewhat of a say in what happens with that company, hence the money being invested. So it comes to a lot of things. Usually, again, those higher up corporate entities within a company are going to say, look, we want this out as soon as possible because it's going to make a lot of money, and why would we delay when we can have it out soon? So that then puts pressure on the developers, the ones who are actually making the game, and they're going to think, shit, we've got not as much time as we really want to make this, so they're rushing it, they're doing as much as they can to get it out. Sometimes it's just not possible, and in this case, I assume Ubisoft Quebec, the developers themselves, have got to a point where it's very much polished and very much done, but it's just not going to be finished. It's not going to be ironed out with bugs and glitches and game testing by November. And they've obviously got to this conclusion. They've seen that. And then they've said to the higher ups, most likely, look, it's not possible. And the higher ups are probably pissed off about it. But at that point, you know, what can you do? So they've released this statement saying, look, it is going to be delayed until February. But hopefully this actually again gives them the time to get the game ready to be as polished as they would want it to be, and as we as players expect and hope for it to be, to have an enjoyable experience. So I'm all for delays. I don't want delays, but I don't want a broken game. And if I have to have a broken game to have the game earlier, then delay it. Give it to me a little bit later when I can actually enjoy the game and not be like shitting myself worrying that the game's going to crash every 5 minutes like I did with Cyberpunk. It was a great game, but it gave me mad gaming anxiety because I thought, oh my god, it's going to crash, or I'd forget about it, and then boom, the game's crashed, and I'm like, fuck. This delay could also be factoring in Assassin's Creed Infinity. Ubisoft have said nothing about the Assassin's Creed Infinity live platform that supposedly AC Shadows is going to be releasing on. For those of you that don't know, Assassin's Creed Infinity is going to be a live service, an area where you can play multiple Assassin's Creed games. For a visual example, think of at the beginning of Assassin's Creed Unity when you were in the Animus, or someone was in the Animus. It was presented in a way that you could select different eras in history, and obviously you select the French one because that was Unity. I feel like that is what it's been alluded to be resembling, but in an actual user-friendly way for us. Let's be honest though, live services aren't done to be more intuitive, better for the gamer. They're done to make more money, to add longevity to all the games they make. Live services are basically an infinite pool to make DLC, add new characters, add new weapons and armor, basically microtransaction central. And with what I understand about Ubisoft by looking at what they've done in the past, it wouldn't be a surprise to me if Assassin's Creed Infinity is just a way to make a fuck ton more money on microtransactions and lackluster content, maybe. Now, I was always shocked that we got so close to the supposed release when we thought it was November for AC Shadows, and we heard nothing about Assassin's Creed Infinity. To me, that never made sense, because Assassin's Creed Infinity, if it's going to be this big platform, of course we're going to want to know about it. Surely we need information about something, especially if Ubisoft are offering pre-orders. Could that be an element to why the game's being delayed? We heard nothing because it's not ready? Again, potentially. And another thing I want to round off this video with is the marketing for Assassin's Creed Shadows. It's been pretty non-existent compared to older Assassin's Creed titles in the past. Obviously now we have a reason why the marketing was so little. It's because Ubisoft probably knew they were going to be delaying the game. It all just did seem a little bit sus. It's easier to see these things as a content creator because you're focused on when's this trailer coming out? When's this trailer coming out? What am I covering? What am I covering about the game? So mentally, you know, as a content creator, you get very much entwined into the marketing schedules, the releases of certain trailers, more than you would just as the general consumer. So yeah, me and a lot of other creators in the AC space did start to feel that it was a little bit sus. We got the reveal trailer, we got the Bandit Camp gameplay showcase, and we got, I think it was like 2 more trailers after that. That sounds like a decent amount, but if you look at even Mirage, that was a kind of a sideline Assassin's Creed game, it was way more marketing presence. It had way more marketing presence at this point in time. With Assassin's Creed Shadows, we've really seen nothing. We've seen stuff at its announcement, we've seen stuff at the summer showcase, and that's pretty much kind of it, give or take a few little videos. It just feels strange. So yeah, that's about it. Assassin's Creed Shadows has been delayed until February 14th, 2025. I said it before and I'll say it again, it does suck. But if the game is going to be better off for it in the long run, it's going to give the game more longevity, then look, it's technically a good thing. It just doesn't feel like it. Now, lastly, I actually have a surprise for you guys. I didn't want to say it at the beginning because it's kind of big, but I thought I'll just show it to you. This is Assassin's Creed Shadows running in-engine on my PS5. Now, for legal reasons, I will have to blur this, but here you go.
Oh man, now man, what the hell?
Oh my god, well fed?
Oh man, hold on, can we get a moment of silence? Oh,